Hey everyone, Laurel here in Minnesota, Zone 5A. Just want to do a little fall color tour. You can see I'm still in the midst of cleanup. It is middle of November. We're about 2 weeks out from Thanksgiving, just under 2 weeks. And it has been unseasonably warm. So it's been a slow cleanup, but I haven't had to break my back for it. Just a few things. Next weekend, or this coming week rather, we start dipping into the 20s and 30s. So I'll get these pots stored. I've got some things over here that overwinter. That one doesn't, not the lantana, but I can just cut that back. But I will be overwintering the bunch of this lemon coral, lemon ball sedum here, the smaller ones. I keep on the porch to overwinter. They survive in there. I think these bigger ones I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to cut them back, leaving the pots in the garage and shed and see what happens. If they die, they die. If not, great. You can see my mom and my aunt have been at her house working, shredding up all of her leaves, and so I use that for mulch. This is that ornamental cabbage that was in one container. I just stuck it in a bucket because it was so pretty. I did get these Dracaena potted up. I will try to overwinter those as houseplants. I can't determine if they are prone to mealy bugs. I did try, no, they're not Dracaena, they're cordyline. I tried a Dracaena overwintering and it got mealy bugs, which they are prone to. So I had to throw that out a while back, a couple years ago. So the geraniums, I'm definitely overwintering these two as houseplants inside. They'll look real scraggly by the end of the season. But as soon as they get out, as soon as I can put them out on the porch in the sun, they'll perk back up. I was inspecting for budworms because here's one of the seed-grown ones. This is the Maverick Scarlet Picotee. I had two of these that I was going to overwinter, and I've been harvesting the seed heads to see if I can collect seed from them, and I'm still finding tobacco budworms on the blooms and the stems. So I cut that one back. Well, I guess I just cleared out the dead stuff, and the other one I'm just not even going to keep. I cleared out that pot because I don't want to overwinter those. They don't survive winter outside. So any of the geraniums that I leave outside to die will kill the budworms as well. And I don't really want to give them a nice cozy nest in my house and then just have them come back alive in the spring. I don't know if that happens, but I don't want to risk it. These are carrot tops. I did film not me harvesting carrots, but the harvest, the product of the harvest of my carrots yesterday. It was really windy, so I didn't film a whole tour. I'll probably just tack that little bit on at the end of this video. Pretty good harvest. Not as big as last year, but that's okay. Last year was a little overwhelming. So I cannot believe that this container still looks good. This Senecio Angel Wings, I've failed twice now overwintering that as a houseplant, so I'm not going to attempt it. Even this Scavola looks good. And the Dichondra Silver Falls down there always looks, that's very frost tolerant. I did clear out, I had in these pots, I had a couple, you can see this, I had some Alternanthera, and you can see one of the pots had has a long tube for a drain hole, and these roots, and they almost clogged it up, but there was still water. It's like a tube of roots, and this one even in the short drain hole. So Alternanthera has pretty intense root system. So just be warned. I still have a few. I got most of the perennials, my clearance perennials planted, just a few to overwinter. Those go in the shed. Same thing, I didn't get this spirea planted, and I don't think I will. So that'll overwinter in the shed, and they should be fine. I come out maybe once a month and plunk a handful of snow on top of these, and they do great. I could lose some. There's always that risk, but I'm willing to take that to get a good deal. Snapdragons sometimes survive winter here, so I'm leaving these in. I did plant, this is a Stacky's Humelo version of lamb's ear, same family. Let's see. nice color over here. I just love the hydrangea blooms in the fall. They're just multi-season. And even this salvia, playing the blues, still looking beautiful. These are the peach tea heuchera. Is it peach tea or sweet tea? Sweet tea? Oh, I'm forgetting. But things, yeah, things are looking nice. Still, I have to pull down this basket. I'll do that today and clear this out. But man, this, well, maybe that's, well, it's not dead yet. Just not real happy with the cold temperatures. I love that fuzzy looking, that's the lotus vine. And even on these petunias, we still have, they're not looking great, but there are still blooms. And on the Superbena whiteout, crazy. Yeah, I might cut back this longboard. It looks like they got some powdery mildew late in the season. Trying to get everything done, everything in the ground that I can, because it's going to get real cold. I can still, even though it's not pleasant to work out here when it's in the 20s or 30s, it's, you know, I can still clean up hosta leaves and stuff like that. But as far as like digging, I don't really want to do that after it gets cold. I planted this GM Red Dragon. This is the older one that I have. Still have some beautiful gold color on the hostas. And then this is the Brunnera. Kind of mixed, no, a Juga. I always want to call it Brunnera. It's a Juga. This is the, what is it? Feathered Friends. Oh, I want to say canary. I don't remember. It's more chartreuse with a little bit of purple in the summer and bronze. With the cold, it's bronzing out much more. And then we've got sort of that purple and mint color back there. That is like Bronze Beauty or something like that. It doesn't really have any bronze in it, but that's the name of it. And the purple tones come out much more in the cool weather. So I just had chunks of it when I originally planted and kind of interspersed them so it all mingles together a little bit. Otherwise, I did plant, you can barely see it, there's the, in that midst of that pile of leaves, there's the Simicifuga or Actia, the snake root. I did buy this toad lily on clearance from Home Depot, and it's been in its container and it's just been blooming away. Come on, focus. Come on. Sorry. Oh, this camera sometimes. I don't know. Yeah. So it's just been blooming away. Planted that out here. Sorry, it won't focus. Just doesn't want to cooperate today. These are the sunflowers. I laid this out for the squirrels and the birds. They were just the volunteer sunflowers that I let go to seed. And then I planted, you can see these cool little milkweed seed pods. That was also a clearance plant from Home Depot. Popped in here in my little native corner. You can see I have the tall bee balm there. My mom kind of fashioned a lean-to back behind that tarp over the my garden carts. Those just stay out there all winter. I just don't have room for them inside. But that is for the feral cat mom or any other cat that wants to use it over the winter months. You can see I did a bunch of leaf mulch down here too. I like doing that in the fall because, I mean, it's a good insulator and it's free. Save the mulch for the spring when it's in summer when it's visible and it'll stay fresh. Planted this. This was a clearance plant last fall. Opening Act Ultra Pink. I'm keeping the tag with it. Might have showed that in my other video. Just have beautiful, beautiful sunlight right now. Yesterday it was overcast and just super windy. It kind of beat you down. It's hard to work in that. I did plant, I have 3 of these, well 4 I guess total, but these were the buttered rum heucherella, and I had gotten another one on clearance. Popped it in there. I may have to move it. Here's the 4th one. Buttered rum, beautiful color. I may have to move that in the spring when I decide upon what trees to plant, but they're easy to move. They transplant well. This rudbeckia, I collected a whole bunch of seed heads from it. This is annual that I grew from seed, but it's still putting out blooms. I don't know what zone it's hardy to, but maybe it'll survive winter. That'd be cool. I loved it there. And then we've got still color and foxglove. Well, now it has seed heads out, but they just keep blooming till they completely freeze. Of course, those are biennial, meaning they live 2 years, the mother plant, but then they continue propagating via seed. Probably won't. This is the silver gumdrop heuchera, and I bought 2 more on clearance, but I don't think I'll get to planting them because I need to move this veronica out more. I need to work on the edge of this garden, so I think that'll wait. Heuchera usually do well overwintering in their plant cans in the garage. We've got some nice color down there on the pig squeak. What's the name of it? Virginia. I have 2 or 3 winter glow and then one of the Miss Piggy, I think, the Winter's kind. So all the shrubs now are defoliated. So just got the sticks, but you can see like this evergreen, that DeGroot Spire arborvitae I planted behind the viburnum. You couldn't really see it in the summer from most angles, but now in the winter, that was the purpose. It's just to make more of a winter screen and some winter interest. Love that. I leave up this Haconocloa grass. It does get weighed down by snow eventually, but before that, it looks beautiful. And some more peach tea heucherella, or sweet tea, I think it is, heucherella in here, next to what is normally a blue hosta. I love the golden stems on that one, though. I wait till the hostas get totally mushy, and then you can just pull up the leaves. Barberry. Again, it's been so long since I planted those. I don't remember the name. They're not like golden rocket, but it's kind of similar. And then we've got a bunch of seed heads over here. That's just beautiful texture. In the winter, they stick up from the snow. That is my brain. I'm kind of pooped out too. I'm tired. That's something. We've got some some snapdragons in here. Hopefully these survive. We've got bee balm seed heads back there, and then the Millennium Allium seed heads. So there's a lot of winter interest right in this area. We've got the hydrangeas. The blooms, unfortunately, don't last when we get heavier snow. But the North Pole arborvitae is doing great. So you can see all this texture sticking up from the snow. Some things might get weighed down if we get exceptionally huge amount of snow, but even still blooms on this diacia thing. Like I said, I'm going to probably get a whole flat of that next year in the spring. Plant that out. Sorry about that. My memory card is filled up, so hopefully I won't happen again here. Anna's Magic Ball arborvitae next to the sedum here. And a big ol' weed I need to pull. The weed still looks beautiful though. Look how green, all that color. Still have blooms on the Noblesse yarrow. Stuff is amazing. Not a whole lot at this point, but there's still some little white blooms. I just love that grass. That is the Shenandoah switchgrass, or panicum, aka. And I did get my garlic all planted up. In this bed over here, I had to make a Bachman's run to the nursery and pick up a couple bags. They had 2 bags of raised bed soil. They carry the Espoma brand, which is really high quality. So this bed had sunk quite a bit, sunk down, so I was able to put some compost and then get those 2 bags of soil and my garlic planted. So we'll see how that does. I did plant it. You can see that some of the tags down here. I planted it in rows, 6 rows. I have 6 different kinds going that way. Should be fine in the middle of the bed. I'm a little bit worried about the outside edges. If that will freeze out, I could potentially lose a whole row, but I thought I would test it out. And we'll just see what happens. As per usual, still blooms on the alyssum. Look at that. And this one too. I love this. I'm going to definitely get this purple one next year. That one's so pretty. That's Purple Stream alyssum. And Super Bina, super frost tolerant, so it won't survive a freeze, but frost, yes. I did plant 5 varieties of the garlic in here too. Not a lot of it, but just as backup, and I want to see if it'll help improve the soil over here. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to leave these snapdragons, leave all this stuff. Some of the marigolds, the ones that are more sheltered, still have some color on them, but I have collected a bunch of seed. I should come out and collect a few more varieties, some seeds, just for funsies. Although they're so inexpensive to buy that sometimes it's like, in the spring when you're overwhelmed, like, I'll just get, when I can get packs of them for $2.50. Just, it's worth it to save the stress, I guess. It's aster, humongous. And we've got this thing, tropical plant that is unbelievably frost tolerant, still showing some color. I do leave the seed heads up on the Cosmos. I like the texture. That's more winter interest, kind of sticking up from the snow. But last year they managed to self-seed, so that was fun. I didn't know they would do that, so I'll try it again. I did tear down 2 of them that were kind of leaning over, and I'm just gonna leave them there. Where they lay, I'll pick them up in the spring. It'll be fine. Those huge bloom heads there. That is the little lime hydrangea. Oh, the ones up against the garage still have a little bit of pink on them even. Wow. Very pretty. Pretty color. I did plant, there's some more color over here. More of this diacia. That's the white one, still showing some blooms. So that's pretty cool. The Nemesia here is also very frost tolerant, but stopped blooming, so. What did we have? Oh, it was this, that's right, I planted this fern. That is another one of the crested surf ferns from Proven Winners. I have one over there as well that has now gone dormant, but this one was protected in its plant can for a while. And then this beautiful Jacob's Ladder. I want to say Stairway to Heaven. I love that bright white variegation on that. And we have some nice color over here in the viburnum. Still has blueberries on it, and then getting a little bit of red tips on the leaves. Very, very nice. This bench stays out, but all my other concrete pieces go in the garage so they don't get waterlogged and then cracked. I do also pull up my little hose guides. I need to get some better ones. These don't last very long, but they're inexpensive. The better ones are expensive, but if they last, then it kind of evens out in the end. Here's my shadow. Some beautiful, I showed this in my last tour. I love the seed heads on the dwarf goldenrod, little lemon, and then kind of a little bit of golden color on the Amsonia down there, blue star Amsonia. And we have the other Anna's Magic Ball. I did impulse purchase some more bulbs. They're small bulbs from Bachman's because they're 50% off, and they had some of the native tulips, which I really like because they stay small. The foliage is little. It's not a ton of, I hate tulip foliage when after the blooms are done. It's just ugly, waiting for it to die out. But These have little minuscule leaves, so they just kind of disappear. But I think I'll plant some kind of around here. And then what else did I get? I don't even remember. 3 things. Oh, I got some allium, some smaller allium. So that's super. More hydrangeas over here. Sorry, not trying to swing around too much. A lot of the leaves blew off yesterday from the honeysuckle and that wind. A little bit left. The birds continue to use this all winter as sort of a perch to fly back and forth to the bird feeders. Otherwise, not too many changes over here. Nothing much, just fewer leaves. The dogwood, again, the leaves blew off yesterday again. 9 bark still has nice color here. That's the tiny wine 9 bark. That'll take a little while. The front yard, though. Oh yeah, and I forgot still had a dahlia tuber. So clean that off, just waiting for it to dry. I'll label that and plunk it in the box that's already in the basement. Smoke bush tree is magnificent right now. It was pretty last week too. It just keeps the gift that keeps on giving. Go up and take a peek at that real quick. Did plant a few things up front here too. Yeah, look at that color. I don't know if you can see it from here. Like oranges, yellow. And this is a shrub that kind of loses all of it. It's backlit, so not the best view. Maybe I'll go and look up in the middle. Still some color on the sedum in here. Sempervivum, of course, stays. That kind of changes color throughout the year, but oh yeah, there we go. So you can kind of see, hopefully that's showing up on camera. Beautiful, bright fall color. Yeah, this is one that kind of like drops its leaves all in one day. It'll decide, I mean, it kind of sheds some as it goes along, but then the bulk of them will just, I'll leave for work and I'll come home and the tree will be bare and the ground is bright orange. You can see a bunch of leaves down there already. Just some, ambiance for the season. We did put, or my mom rather, I had a couple of these plant hangers. What are they called? Shepherd's hooks. Oh, there's the wind. Sorry about that. Had a couple shepherd's hooks, made bird feeders for the kitties to enjoy. I did get the clearance carex that I bought in the ground. Also planted, look at the color, still color on the hydrangeas back there. And that big blue angel hosta and my leaf mulch. Jack of Diamonds Brunnera down there that I plunked in. I'm not sure if it'll stay there, but thought it would do better over the winter. Love those big, huge, bold leaves on the hellebore. And I'm hoping the one next to it will get big too. I don't think it gets as big. That one is Spanish Wedding. See, I forget now. And then beautiful gold color. That's Caesar's brother, Siberian Iris. That bright pop. Next to the overwintered several years now mums that I just popped out here. And still have some color. That one's kind of covered up because I wanted to mulch around that sedum. But the lemon ball sedum around that, I have a perennial sedum in here as well that I want to protect. But anyway, lemon ball sedum still has nice bright color. That'll freeze out though. And then I did plant I got 2 echinacea. They're yellow. I forget the name of them. They were Monrovia on clearance. And heuchera, always looking stunning. And then this is the limoncello barberry with some beautiful color. That one gets really stunning fall color. First half of summer, it's like a chartreuse with kind of red edges on the leaves. And then middle to late summer, it kind of turns just solid green. And then in the fall, it gets that beautiful color. Down here, not too much change. I just leave these cabbage and pull them in the spring. They do fine. But the Victoria Blue Salvia is still going strong. I'm curious if this will overwinter. This area is very sheltered. Okay, and I'm back. Now my battery died, so clearly I am a camera woman failure today. But I have extras, so we carry on. Anyway, this is a very sheltered location, so things that don't normally come back sometimes do over here. So I have hope. The zinnia, not so much. That is toast, but you can see foxglove blooms behind it. We've got, I think that might be Camelot purple. I'm not sure. It wasn't labeled when I bought it years ago at the garden center, and this is many generations of seeds. Self-seeding later. Ooh, okay. Sorry, my thumb is frozen. I didn't mean to, like, cold. We've got the Calamagrostis, 2 overdam grasses there. And even, look at these foxglove. These are the Dalmatian peach that I started from seed and have now been self-seeding. Still blooming. And then this echinacea I planted next year. I'm sure it will be more tidy. But we have a little bloom down there as well. The other one did not survive. Those I had overwintered from the previous year. So anyway. All right, well, little short ending there, I guess, after the battery died. But I hope you are enjoying your fall season. I know a lot of places it's been kind of unseasonably warm. Gosh, look at that color. Love it. I want to show you the tree, but without showing you my address. So, so beautiful. I will leave you with that. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Please subscribe. Hey everyone, it's me again. Super bad day for filming because it's like ultra windy, gusty wind. So kind of loud, but I just harvested my carrots and just wanted to show that real quick. And the fall color is just so pretty right now. Everything's kind of golden, bronze, brown, and gold. I did also plant, finally, this opening act phlox. I'm going to leave the tag in the ground over the winter just so I remember which one it is. Opening act ultra pink. I may have to move this next year when I figure out this area. You can see a lot of the annuals are still looking good. Nemesia even putting out some blooms. Dusty Miller there. That sometimes is hardy in our zone. Some years it comes back. Ugh, this wind. Sorry if it's real gusty. I planted the Stokes Aster down here from Proven Winners. This is a new one this year, I think. Totally Stoked Riptide. That's a Zone 5 plant. We just switched to a Zone 5 last year from a 4B. So I'm seeing more Zone 5 plants in garden centers. However, many of the garden centers do not guarantee the Zone 5 plants. They will only guarantee a Zone 4 still. And my theory, I haven't asked, but my theory is that it's kind of a little pocket that got moved to Zone 5 like the Twin Cities did because probably of urban warming effect. So a lot of surrounding areas did not get moved. They are still a Zone 4, and I'm sure they have many customers who live in a Zone 4 and come to the Twin Cities to shop their merchandise. And so they can't guarantee the Zone 5 because if you buy it and you live in a Zone 4, that's not a guarantee. That's my theory. I don't actually have any clue, but that's just my theory anyways. So yeah, it was this bed over here that I cleaned out. It had peppers and zucchini in it, so those were dead like a month ago when we got our first frosts. Carrots were over in this side. I just harvested those, and you can see I've got a bucket full of carrots. I haven't weighed it. That's less than last year. I got 27 pounds, which was overwhelming. This year it's still plenty plenty of carrots. That'll last me till next summer, but not 27 pounds. And then the carrot tops I save for my friend. She does fiber arts and she makes her own natural dyes. So carrot tops make a beautiful kind of yellowish, greenish yellow, almost like an acid yellow or real light. Yeah, it's kind of like a light acid yellow dye. So I've been saving those for her for a few years. You can see all the baby carrots over there, the little teeny tiny ones. I don't know if I'll bother cleaning those or I might just throw them in the compost. But you can see this bed. This is the Vago garden bed. This is the 6-in-1 in its largest configuration. I bought these two last summer. Oh, I didn't cut I forgot about that. You're supposed to cut the trim to fit, and usually well, now it's kind of cool, I guess, so it's expanded more, I guess. Anyway, okay, enough about that. You can see how much the soil sank. What I did in both of these beds, I had logs that were from a neighbor's tree that was cut down. So I did sort of the hugelkultur method, where I stacked a bunch of logs on the bottom, and then this one my friends helped me install in the spring. And I had all my cuttings, all my perennial yard waste, so I stacked a bunch of that on top of there. And then we topped off with soil. This end we did not put logs. I made deeper soil here because I knew I was going to be planting carrots on this end. So this side has sunk even more because there aren't any logs under it. It was just sort of yard waste. So I'll top this off with some new soil and compost. And then this is where I'm going to plant my garlic. Probably about half of this bed will be my garlic. So hopefully, I still haven't decided if I want to do, I was thinking about doing in the ground over here also some garlic as backup, because these beds are still fairly new. I did find even last year with our mild winter, the cloves that I planted, I kind of tested. I planted all around the edge and around the corner. I mean, as close as you could plant garlic and still get a clove, just to see how well they did, because my last beds were lower to the ground and got covered more easily by snow. Last year we had no snow, although temperatures were very mild. But those cloves still didn't come up. They froze out and died. So anyway, the middle of the bed was fine though. And who knows what this winter is going to be. If we get a bunch of snow piled on top, then it shouldn't be a problem. But anyway, that's just my thought process on doing backup garlic in the ground, because I haven't had an issue with that yet. But you can see some things are still looking good. We've still got this super bina. These are just so cold hardy. I think they are hardy to like zone 8 or something, so it doesn't surprise me. And still this play in the blue salvia. Someone commented that they are able to take cuttings and propagate it in water from cuttings. So I thought about doing that. It's tough having something like that, even if I were to plant it in soil, last the entire winter inside, just because it's so long, such a long winter. And I don't know if I'll have time to get to it. So anyway. All right, well, I'll film. I guess you'll see the rest of the tour on a different day, or maybe you've already seen it. I don't know how I'll cut it together. We shall see. Here's the cabbage that something ate again, right before I could harvest it. Well, I could have harvested it, but I forgot. And now it is critter food. Oh well, that's how it goes. So, yep. There we go, just a peek at the carrots.